What delays effective CFS and long COVID treatment trials? Imagine waiting years for a breakthrough that could change lives, but roadblocks keep slowing progress. That's often what happens with treatments for myalgic encephalomyelitis or chronic fatigue syndrome and long COVID. Several key factors contribute to these delays, even though the need for effective therapies is urgent. First, there are no treatments approved by the Food and Drug Administration for these conditions yet. Many healthcare providers lack specialized training to diagnose or manage CFS and long COVID properly. This means patients often relying on supportive care or off-label medications, which are not always effective and requiring trial and error. Without clear treatment pathways, enrolling in clinical trials becomes more complicated. Second, the symptoms of these illnesses are very diverse. Patients may experience fatigue, brain fog, pain, sleep issues, and sometimes conditions like postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome or mast cell activation. Because symptoms vary so much from person to person, designing trials that work for everyone is tough. Researchers need to create personalized approaches, but that makes standardization and measuring success more complex. Third, a hallmark feature called post-exertional malaise involves worsening symptoms after physical or mental activity. Many clinical trials overlook this key symptom, which can lead to outcomes that don't truly reflect patient improvements. Some trials might even unintentionally worsen symptoms if they don't account for PEM, making it harder to find safe and effective treatments. Fourth, despite decades of research on CFS, long COVID studies have sometimes failed to build on that knowledge. Large efforts like the National Institutes of Health Recover program are still catching up. This means promising drugs tested in CFS, such as low-dose naltrexone or immune-modulating therapies, aren't always tested in long COVID trials, delaying potential breakthroughs. Fifth, many trials tend to favor conservative designs that focus on low-risk interventions. These might include behavioral therapies or basic supportive measures rather than exploring new medications that target the underlying biological causes. While cautious approaches are understandable, they slow down the discovery of innovative treatments. Funding is another big issue. CFS has long been underfunded relative to how many people it affects. This lack of resources limits research into its causes and potential therapies. Although long COVID has brought more attention and some increased funding, the infrastructure for large-scale trials is still developing. Diagnosing these conditions can also be tricky. Symptoms often overlap with other illnesses, and some patients face dismissive attitudes from healthcare providers. Severely affected individuals who are homebound or bedridden are often excluded from studies, which means we misunderstanding the full scope of the illnesses. Finally, the absence of reliable biomarkers makes it hard to identify subgroups of patients or objectively measure improvements. Most trials relying on patient reports, which can be subjective. Incorporating wearable devices or physiological measures is promising but still in early stages. In summary, delays happen because of the complexity and variability of CFS and long COVID, limited integration of past research, cautious trial designs, insufficient funding, diagnostic challenges, and the need for better outcome tools. Overcoming these hurdles requires innovative research strategies that recognize each patient's unique experience, include diverse populations, and explore a wider range of scientifically supported treatments. Always remember, consulting healthcare professionals for personalized advice is essential as research continues to evolve.